What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about 5 things stacking silver and gold has taught me over the last 5 years. As this video comes out, it is my 5-year Stackiversary, and I wanted to talk about 5 things that I've learned. We're gonna get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the limited edition DYDSS Christmas line, only available until December 25th. Please get one while you can. A portion of the proceeds are going to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Try out some G Fuel Energy Formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. And of course, last but certainly not least, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. Refer one friend by the end of the month, and they're going to give you all the way up to 20 free shares of Google. You're guaranteed at least one. Each share is worth about $100 right now. And for every friend you refer after that, they're going to give you 15 free fractional random shares. And they're also going to give you an entry to the New Year prize board for every referral you make. And then in January, they're going to be picking random people and then giving them even more free shares of Google. Everything will be linked in the description. All right, so this video should be coming out on December 17th. Now, if memory serves me right, I'm pretty sure December 17th of 2017 was when I first got my hands on a little piece of silver. My first piece of silver ever. I didn't even bring it with me, but it was a little 1 troy ounce, 3/9 fine, generic silver round. And that's what got the ball rolling for me. And over the last 5 years, as 2017 came to an end and all throughout 2018 and 19, and oh man, you better believe I learned some lessons in 2020, then 2021, and now here we are at the end of 2022. There's been a lot of trial and error. There have been a lot of trials and tribulations, and I've learned a lot. I've learned far more than 5 lessons. I've been taught more than 5 things, but I wanted to really focus on 5 very important things that I've learned over the last 5 years, starting with number 1, what real, true, honest money is. What you're looking at on screen right now, I know I have a couple dollar bills on there, but what you're looking at on screen right now is some 90% silver up there at the top. We have some quarters, dimes, we have a $50. Below that, we have some pure silver, some American Silver Eagles, a 3 troy ounce silver bar, and then sitting on top of that small pile of currency, we have some fractional gold coins, some 10th ounce, quarter ounce gold coins. Now, the difference between what I'm displaying right now and the pile of cash below the gold is the precious metals. They are the real, true, honest money. Up until I started stacking silver, or up until I was first introduced to the silver stacking concept, I didn't really understand the difference. I didn't even know that silver and gold were necessarily money, but at any point ever in history, I didn't know that. Like, why would I know that if I was never taught that? It's just not really, it's not exactly common sense. It's something that you have to, discover, whether it's taught in schools or you found out somewhere else. Most people don't know that real, true, honest money are the physical precious metals. And not only are the silver and gold constitutionally recognized as money, but still, to this date, they are internationally recognized as money, and they're also biblically recognized as money. Silver and gold, real, true, honest money. In fact, our currency, our fake, fiat, glorified IOU piece of paper dollar bills, as I like to call them, the cash down there, used to be backed by real, true, honest money. And this is something else that if you're above the age of 35, you were probably taught in school. If you're below the age of 35, school probably didn't teach anything at all, let's be honest. And I'm below the age of 35, trust me, I would know. But here's the thing. Our currency used to be backed by money. Our dollar bills used to be backed by gold. Our pocket change used to be made up of silver. We used to have silver in our coins. We used to have gold backing our dollar bills. real, true, honest money backing our currency. That's no longer the case. Now our fiat is just an empty promise. It's backed by nothing. For a while, you could say it was backed by oil. I would argue now that it's backed by debt, and I know that sounds like I'm, taking a jab at the dollar bill, but it's actually not only the bad kind of debt, but it's also the good kind of debt. There's different types of debt. I think that's what the dollar's backed by at this point. So that was the first thing that I learned when it came to my 5-year silver and gold stacking journey. First thing I learned, or the first thing on the list, is what real, true, honest money is. The second thing that I learned while stacking silver and gold is how to have long-term vision. How to decipher whether or not something is worth committing to for the long term. Because let's be honest, there are a lot of things out there. There are a lot of different projects you can work on. There are a lot of different investments you can make. There are a lot of different pieces that you can pick up, coins even, or whatever the case may be, designed for the short term. But when it comes to the long term, when it comes to something that you want to focus on, not for this week, this month, this year, but for multiple years down the road, multiple decades down the road, potentially multiple generations down the road, depending on what your goals are, I think silver and gold can really help you set yourself up for success in one of many different ways. I think the precious metals have improved my ability to focus on the long term. Now, I've always been a long-term thinker. I've never been one to go out and go crazy on Friday night and then, try to figure out a place to wake up on Saturday morning. I've never really been that kind of guy. I've always been a little bit more focused on prioritizing what I need to prioritize on today so that I can set myself up for the best chance of success later down the road. But when I first started stacking silver and gold, I very quickly realized that I'm not necessarily in a rush when it comes to stacking. Now, what taught me this was my first full year of stacking. Like I said, I got started mid-December of 2017. The entire following year, 2018, that whole year that went by, silver pretty much did nothing but go down, according to spot price. Silver remained the same, but spot price was on a little bit of a decline. My first piece of silver ever I picked up when spot price was about $17 and change. The next couple of weeks had gone by. We moved into January, February. Spot price was $16.95, and then the next time I picked up silver, it was like $16.70. Then it was $16.50, and then it was $16.20, and then all of a sudden it was $15.99. And I remember saying to myself, wow, a lot of people with short-term vision might be very, very discouraged right now, but I'm in it for the long term. Therefore, this is actually good news. Every time I go to pick up silver, I can get more of it for the same amount of dollar bills. Or it takes more silver being forked over in exchange for more dollar bills. Like I can buy the dip, as they like to say. I can get the same amount of silver for a cheaper amount, or I can get even more silver for the same amount. And I can continue doing this. Whether spot price is down, whether spot price is up, whether spot price is just kind of moving sideways, I'm in it for the long term. And the reason for that, one of the primary reasons I got started stacking silver in the first place, not only was it to bank on my own terms, but it was also my way of, or my attempt, I should say, at combating inflation. Now, inflation is not something that I'm really worried about today. Inflation is something that I'm more so worried about later down the road, because inflation it's absolutely guaranteed. It's not one of those things where, oh, maybe in 50 years everything's gonna be more expensive. No, in 50 years, I guarantee you, I promise you, on everything that I have, we will see much higher inflation, where the price of absolutely everything will go up. Food will cost more, rent will cost more, cars will cost more, everything will cost more. And silver is my way of attempting to solve that problem. It's a long-term solution to a long-term problem. It's not designed to fix everything today. It's designed to help cushion the blow later down the road, years, decades, potentially generations down the road. So that's the second thing I learned. It was to have more of a long-term vision on not just stacking, but everything. The third thing that I learned, or the third thing that silver and gold taught me, was to also begin to diversify in other ways that don't involve silver and gold necessarily. Now, what was interesting about this is that when I first started to diversify, silver and gold was my method of doing that. Or actually, I should say silver was my method of doing that. And after a couple months of stacking silver, I began to stack gold mainly because I wanted to diversify what metals I was involved in. I got involved in silver because I was like, okay, I can use this metal as a way of diversifying the way that I'm going about, building up my financial empire, I guess you can call it. Silver was my way of doing so. My first step in diversifying was by going with a little bit of gold. But a little bit later down the road, as I continued stacking silver and gold, as I continue still to this day stacking silver and gold as a hobby, I started to invest as well. And the reason for this was because it was actually because of silver and gold. Silver and gold taught me about diversification in the first place. So I figured, why not diversify the way that I diversify? So I'll make this very, 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 very quick before we move on to the fourth thing that I learned. I just wanted to issue a quick reminder that one of my ways of going about investing is on the Webull app. I'm not sponsored by them, it's just the platform that I use. If you download the app and fund your account, they're going to give you up to 12 free fractional shares just for doing so. If you refer one friend by the end of the month, they're going to give you all the way up to 20 free shares of Google. You're guaranteed at least one, so you're walking away a winner no matter what. Each share is worth about $100, and for every friend you refer after that, they're going to give you 15 free fractional shares, as well as an entry per referral to the new year prize board. They're going to pick some winners in January for people that were making referrals in December, and they're going to give you even more free shares of Google. Just wanted to throw that out there. That's one of my ways of diversifying outside of precious metals. I began to invest as well. And it was mostly because I wanted to do something in another market as well. I don't have the currency to get involved in real estate just yet, but I wanted to diversify. And I do this primarily with index funds, and I can generate a little bit of passive income on the side. And the way I see it, the passive income that I generate, also known as cash flow, I fully believe one day that will be silver flow. I believe the cash flow, as it compounds over time, years and years and years of reinvesting dividends and distributions and continuing to throw more fuel into the fire and build up the dividend income investing portfolio that I'm building up for myself, I think the dividends will be able to do the stacking for me. Imagine that. Imagine having enough cash flow coming in that you don't even have to, set aside a certain amount of dollars, like, oh, let me cut back on food this month so I can get some silver. No, you don't have to worry about. You got some passive income coming in that you can use to go to the coin shop with and get some silver and gold. That's one of the main reasons I'm investing right now. It's so that the passive income can buy the things that I want. I'll go to work every day and I'll get my paycheck to cover the things that I need, but I want the passive income to cover the things that I want. So that was the third thing that I learned by stacking silver and gold. It was to diversify with silver and gold, but also diversify beyond silver and gold. The fourth thing that I've learned since I started stacking silver and gold 5 years ago was some of the science behind the metal, or the metals, I should say. These are things that maybe I was taught in school. Gonna be honest, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention in school. But when it comes to chemistry, the periodic table, all of the different elements, silver's on there, gold is on there, Ag and Au, they're on there. Technically, silver and gold are taught in school. They aren't taught about how they were really used. You learn about the elements. You don't really learn all that much about how important the metals really are. You don't learn about their intrinsic value. You don't learn about how they're used in all of these different industries. You're not taught about how silver, physical silver, is used in over 10,000 different ways. You're not taught about those things, but you are taught a little bit about some of the element features, some features related to silver and gold. For example, if you were to compare silver to gold, sure, they're both precious metals. Sure, they're both used as a way of, hoping to preserve wealth long term and hedge against inflation long term, not short term, but years, decades, potentially generations down the road. Absolutely. But guess what? They're two different metals for two different reasons. Silver isn't just a white version of gold, and gold isn't just a yellow version of silver. No, they're completely different metals. They have different melting points. And on top of that, when it comes to silver coins and gold coins, oftentimes in many different countries, they will include silver and copper inside of their gold coins just to make the coin a little bit more dense. Why is that? It's because gold is a much softer metal and easier to bend than silver. So those are just a couple of different examples of ways that the metals are different. Yes, they're both precious metals. Yes, they're both used by us that are stacking them for similar reasons. But when it comes to the features of the metals, when it comes to the chemistry, when it comes to the elements, they're vastly, vastly different. It's not just about the price tag. It's not just about what spot price says. It's not just about how they look or what color they are. Oh, this one's prettier than that one. No, they're actually very, very different, and they're used in many, many, many different ways. There are certain things that silver can do that gold cannot. There are certain things that gold can do that silver cannot. And when it comes to stacking, I like to say that I'm getting the best of both worlds by stacking both of them. So that was the fourth thing that I learned in my 5 years of stacking silver and gold. A little bit of the science behind the metals, or some of the features and the element factor, I guess you can say. Now, the fifth and final thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to stacking silver and gold, and something that I've learned over the course of my 5-year stacking journey, half a decade in, was to build and be a part of something larger than myself. I'm going to break this into two different ways. What I'm putting out versus what I'm pulling in. What I'm putting out, aka joining the precious metal community, this online silver and gold stacking world that we all live in right now. Many of you probably don't know this, but before I was making silver and gold videos, before I even was stacking, before I even knew that silver and gold were like a thing, I was making other types of videos. I was just making daily videos about things that I was doing in my day-to-day life, just like vlogs, just filming whatever was going on that day. That's the style video I was making first. When I started stacking silver and gold, that was just something that I was doing, so I made a video about it. That's just what I did that day, therefore I posted a video about it, and it did very, 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 very well. And I posted a couple more videos when I had first gotten started about silver and gold, and I had noticed that they were doing far better than most of my other videos. So it told me two things. Number one, I'm having more fun making silver and gold videos than I am making vlogs. And two, people are getting far more value out of the videos about silver and gold than they are the vlogs. So I moved away from vlogs and I focused a little bit more on silver and gold. And during my first year, I got a comment from somebody, or maybe somebody said it during a live stream, I don't remember exactly, but they said, "Hey, can you go and open up a P.O. box? I wrote a letter and I want to send it to you." So I said, "Sure, why not? That sounds pretty cool." I don't really get letters nowadays, but that would be pretty awesome. I'd love to get a letter. So I went and opened up my P.O. box, which I still have today. But I opened up the P.O. box so that I could receive letters. And the letter that I received said something along the lines of that they are a father, or they are an uncle, or they're a brother, because this goes for a lot of different people. A lot of people have said similar things to me. But they said they have a son about my age that they've tried really hard to get into silver. They're a good kid, good person, hard worker, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't click. They don't care for the silver and the gold. So when it comes to stacking, or when it comes to coins, they have more in common with me than they do with them. And it's cool to see a young person as excited, enthusiastic about something as simple as a little silver coin. And for whatever reason, that's why they gravitate towards my videos. So I remember reading a letter about this, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. And like I said, I opened up the P.O. box so that I could begin receiving letters. And I started saying in my videos, I was like, hey, I got a P.O. box. I'll leave the information in the description in case you want to write me a letter. I never in a million years told anyone or asked anyone to send me any gifts by any means. I am not a good receiver of gifts. In fact, on my birthday, my family and my friends, they know that I have one rule, and that is to not wish me a happy birthday. In fact, please don't text me, don't call me, don't visit me, don't give me anything. We have 365 days a year. I just want one to be left alone. That's all I want for my birthday. Please don't give me anything. Don't even say anything to me. You know, I say in the most respectful way possible, but please just pretend my birthday doesn't exist. And I say something similar around Christmas time. I was like, hey, I'll be there. I'll visit the family. But please don't give me any Christmas presents. I'll be around. I'll celebrate the holidays with everybody. I just don't want to be given anything. I have enough stuff as it is. There's nothing I need. There's nothing I want. All I want is to be given nothing. So I'm not a very good receiver of gifts. Therefore, why on God's green earth would I ask for somebody to give me a gift? I opened up the P.O. box for letters. But as soon as I opened up the P.O. box, people actually started sending me gifts. Now, this put me in a very uncomfortable spot because I didn't expect for that to happen. But at the same time, it's also kind of rude to reject a gift. So I made unboxing videos, and I expressed my gratitude, my appreciation. And people sent me all types of really cool stuff. Some people sent me some coins to help kickstart the stack. Some people sent me prepping supplies. Some people sent me first aid kits. Some people sent me fitness equipment. People have sent me all types of crazy stuff, and it's been, it was humbling. It was overwhelming. I didn't expect that. So, you know, I know it's been years of doing this now, but once again, I appreciate that. But please, for the love of God, do not feel the need to send me anything. If you want to send me a letter, I'd appreciate that, but you don't have to send me any gifts. But attached to one of the gifts that I had received one time was a letter from another person. And this letter talked about how they appreciate that I keep my videos family friendly because they watch my videos with their son. Their son is 5 years old. And it's hard to get a 5-year-old interested in coins. It's hard to get anybody of any age interested in coins, let alone a 5-year-old. But for whatever reason, my excitement and enthusiasm has gotten the 5-year-old excited and enthusiastic about coins. And now, that father that wrote me the letter has something else in common with his son, thanks to my videos, according to the letter. And this told me one thing. This told me, wow. Like, I started thinking to myself, wow, I can help almost bring families together in a way. I mean, families are, you know, they're together in the first place, but if they can share a bond over something that I said in a video, or if now, you know, there's a father and son activity because of my video, like, that's what it's all about. That's awesome right there. I didn't realize, you know, like, this is coming from the perspective of Mykie DYDSS. I'm the guy that made a parody rap song referring to myself as the white SOB in the black SUV. I didn't think that I was really contributing anything to the world in my videos, but as soon as I started receiving letters from people, like, I'm talking pages upon pages upon pages, handwritten letters, sometimes typed out, it blew my mind. I was like, wow, I didn't know I was having any type of a positive impact. I gotta keep this going. I gotta keep running it up. So like I said, the fifth thing that I learned was about being a part of something and building something up larger than myself. And like I said, I wanted to break that up into two parts. What I'm putting out versus what I'm pulling in. I just explained the first part. What I'm putting out. The content that I produce. It might not be anything like Hollywood level. I'm not making movies over here. This isn't any high budget thing. I'm sitting on the friggin' ground right now with a couple coins out and my phone recording this on a little tripod plugged into a little battery pack because I got a notification saying that my phone's about to die. This isn't any high budget stuff. It doesn't take anything high budget to do what I do. But when I learned that I'm actually creating a positive impact, it changed the game for me. And it kind of aligned me with one of what I believe many purposes of mine. So I want to keep doing what I do. I want to keep creating as much value as I possibly can, especially knowing that there's a father watching my videos with his son right now. This video, he's watching this video with his son. There's a father-son activity, a father-son bond going on because of my videos, and you know, that's more than enough for me to keep these things going. And God forbid anything were to happen to my YouTube channel, I'll pick up where I left off on another platform. So as I always say, please follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. The handles are at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. Follow me everywhere, because if something happens at this place, I'll go post my videos over there instead. So now the second part of the fifth thing, now that I talked about what I'm putting out into the world, I want to talk about what I'm pulling into my world. Building something that's larger than myself. See, when I first got started stacking silver, it was mainly a hobby to begin with, and then it turned into learning about like wealth preservation and long-term vision and whatnot, as I explained earlier. And then I realized that it can go beyond just me. I can build something up for myself right now that can later be passed down to my kid. It can later be passed down to my future potential grandkids one day. It's not just about me and what I'm doing and what I have right now while I spend my time on this planet before I head on off to hang out with the man upstairs. I can build something up for generations to come. My great grandkids, who knows, might still be speaking of my name. Like they could be talking about me. They're like, hey, your great grandfather who died 300 years ago, what we have today is because of him. He built this for us. He did this for us. He created something. And generation after generation after generation can go by, still use, still have, and still benefit from what I built. So coming around full circle, the fifth thing that I learned, or the fifth thing that silver and gold has taught me, was to not only be a part of something larger than myself and create value for the online silver and gold stacking community, but it's also to build something that's larger than myself, so that generations to come after I'm long gone, after years, hundreds of years, decades, centuries down the road, still using and having and benefiting from something that I built. That's powerful. There's a lot behind that right there. Just think about it. Just hypothetically think about it. You don't have to follow in my footsteps. You don't have to be doing the same thing that I'm doing, or maybe you are doing the same thing that I'm doing, but you have a completely different goal. Nothing wrong with that. We're all on different pages, but we're all in the same book. Remember that. So, those were 5 things that I've learned since I started stacking silver and gold 5 years ago. This is how I'm celebrating my 5-year Stackiversary. I am officially half a decade in to the silver and gold stacking journey. And I look forward to the next 5 years. I look forward to seeing what else takes place. I look forward to making an update to this video in another 5 years and talking about 10 things I've learned while stacking silver and gold over the last 10 years. My 10-year Stackiversary, my 1-decade Stackiversary. I look forward to that. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Have you learned or discovered anything that I talked about in today's video? Have you benefited from silver and gold in the same way or in similar ways as I have? What are a couple of things that you've learned since you started stacking silver and gold? Head on down to the comments and let me know. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Go and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. Remember, we have the limited edition DYDSS Christmas line, only available until December 25th. Please get one while you can. Time is running out, and a portion of the proceeds are going right to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. It's the season of giving. Please help us raise some money for charity. Try out some G Fuel Energy Formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. It's December. They have buy one, get one free sales going on periodically throughout the month. So go ahead and buy one, go ahead and get one free, and go ahead and get $5 off on top of that. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. If you refer just one friend by the end of the month, they're going to give you all the way up to 20 free shares of Google. You're guaranteed at least one, so you're walking away a winner no matter what. So please, do not pass up on an opportunity. For every friend you refer after that, they're going to give you, and each share is worth about $100 right now. For every friend you refer after that, they're going to give you 15 free fractional shares per referral. And per referral, they're also going to give you an entry to the New Year prize board, which means in January, they're going to take all the people that have been making referrals in the month of December, and they're going to pick a couple random people and give them even more free shares of Google. Please, once again, do not pass up on an opportunity. If you don't want the free stocks, go and get them anyway. They're free. Why would you not do that? Then just sell them. Congratulations. Now you can use the cash to go and get some even more silver and gold if that's what you want. Everything will be linked in the description. And once again, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. When it comes to lessons that you've learned since you started stacking, or things that you've learned, things that silver and gold have taught you over the days, weeks, months, years, or even decades, however long you've been stacking for. How long have you been stacking for, and what are some things that you've learned? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.